Hey there, this is Ray with Ray's Guide, giving you the first look inside the Hercules Starlifter A2, and I'm taking my first bombing run mission now that we have now got clearance to talk about this sort of thing with the public. I noticed that the A2 has the same big rear ramp as the other members of the Hercules family, except that you can't use the whole width of that rear ramp. So unlike the Hercules C2, you can be bringing a great big vehicle up the back ramp. What you will notice is that once you get to the top of the ramp here, that the width is severely restricted. It looks like you might be able to get a buggy-sized vehicle here. Now you look to the left, and you can close up the door. That's where the ship panel is. It isn't over on the wall as you might find it on the other Hercules craft. Now you come forward here, and you'll notice that to the left, just where we were coming in, there is a bombardier station right next to the bombs, but it is not at the moment functional. So I'm coming up to the upstairs here, and we'll first take a look at how the crew quarters are different on the Hercules A2. Coming here, and this room is now called turrets, even though it was called other things in other ships, and you got 4 turret seats. Now I'm going to look at the one to the port side, and I'm going to go look at the forward one here as we look at it, and it says enter remote turret. And as you see here, I am now underneath the craft, looking at the turret with a single Omnisky 15 gun, great big gun. But I can also see on the same side of this ship is another turret with 2 energy weapons. So let me hop out of this turret. And as you notice, there's another seat right behind this seat. And it don't take no rocket scientist to know or realize where this second seat is for. Yes, sirree, I click on enter remote turret here, and it takes me to that double turret with 2 M7As. So on the port side of the craft, we got a Omnisky 15 and 2 M7As, and right across from me in this little turret room, I've got 2 more seats, and yep, you were guessing exactly right. They cover the starboard side pair of M7As and Omnisky 15s. This ship has truly an impressive set of underside weapons. We may think that the main purpose of this thing is to drop big bombs, but let me tell you, those 4 guns can wreak an awful lot of damage to ground targets. And here on the back, we got the usual weapons room. Armor to the one side, gun racks to the left. Now you come across the other side, and this is where the same item storage, same component storage. Now come to the opposite side, and we have 4 bunks as opposed to 2 or 3. And you'll also notice the kitchen area has a little bit more privacy from the bunk area. I think that's a nice touch. They probably should have done in the other versions as well. But 4 bunks, and if you stop and do count your fingers on your hands, you realize that people are going to have to be doing some hot sheeting in this ship. They're going to have to be sharing some bunks, hopefully not at the same time. Come up same component hallway as you have on the other members of the Hercules product line. And then you got your 8 escape pods. And now we are up to the front where you have the usual turret gunner seat that controls the top and bottom rear turrets. Again, this has an incredible amount of turrets. And then you got the pilot and co-pilot seat. I'm gonna hop in the pilot seat. Gonna ask for clearance, and we're gonna head on out of here. Gonna pick a target on a moon and gonna do some practice bombing runs. So we head on out of the hangar into space, and I'm going to make a little trip to Houston, and we're going to stop by one of the moons. We're going to take some bombing runs at a neglected and unoccupied former Houston facility. Hopefully they will not take objection if I am attacking a decommissioned facility. I don't really want to get a crime stat from just doing practice bombing runs, but it's good if you are practicing to have some sort of a target that, so you can see if you're doing accurate. Now, traditionally, there are 3 types of bombing runs. There are hover bombing, there is dive bombing, and there is level bombing. And we're going to be trying all 3 of those. All 3 of these are supported by the Hercules Starlifter A2. We'll do hover bombing first, as that's the easiest one and gives you the satisfaction of being able to watch your bomb as it goes all the way to the ground. Now, you have noticed here I am bombing an unoccupied facility. I have tested this against enemy facilities and have found that this is not as easy as it sounds, because enemy air defenses will see your bombs, they will attack your bombs, and they will destroy your bombs, just like they would your torpedoes. So if you are entertaining fantasies of just taking over a base by bombing it to smithereens from orbit, you're going to be disappointed. You are still going to have to do the dirty work of clearing out the air defenses with something like the underbelly guns on this A2. So what we're going to do is we are going to try to fly straight over it, straight over our target, and then tip ourselves down, then roll over so our pitch that is right there at minus 90 degrees, and you will see a couple things. First, you will notice that once I get within sight of the ground, I will get a white circle. The large white circle is where my nose would hit the ground if I just continue going forward. It is me pointing straight forward. As I get closer and point more down, I will also see a red circle. The red circle is where my bombs will hit if I simply let go of them at my current location and speed and whatnot. So for hover bombing, my task is going to be to put my white circle on top of my red circle and then release the bomb. So there's my white circle. I notice I got the large white circle as soon as I switched to bombing operator mode. Now you can see the red circle peeking in. So I'm trying to get my red circle and my white circle and my target all in the same spot. But I'm just going to release it anyhow so you can see what, if I really was caring about it hitting, I would have it be right on top of each other. Now you can see the white triangle. That's my bomb making its way down to the surface, taking its time. Now you will see to the right of the two circles, there is the altitude indicator of the bomb. And you will see how it is inching its way down. Now, the important thing is I want to stay at least 1.5 kilometers away from this bomb in order to not take any splash damage from it. Because this bomb will have splash damage and quite a considerable circuit of it. So being 1.5 kilometers away is a good idea. Very good idea. Getting closer. Just be patient here. Another few seconds as we can see its altimeter inching its way down. Getting ready. Just a little bit more. You can also see that my bomb does appear in my radar as that red X. We can see it heading towards the ground as well. So I get two indications of the bomb, the red X on the radar and the spinning triangle. Oh, and there's my explosion. Nice and satisfying, right in the middle of the red circle as it should have. So now we're going to try to switch around and we're going to try to do a dive bombing. A dive bombing, you want to have a little bit of momentum because you're going to be adding your momentum to the momentum of the bomb. But gravity will always be taking a little bit of that energy and deflecting the bomb a little bit. So you won't have, so the goal isn't to perfectly line up your circle with the ground, but to overshoot it a bit. So that you see you're aiming a little bit beyond beyond your target, but hopefully putting the red circle on top of your target before you release. So here we go. We're coming in close. You see the white target. See the white circle. See the red circle now. Red circle is coming. The red circle is over the bombing area, so I let loose and then get the heck out of here because I am too low for comfort as far as I'm concerned. But I'm digging up. You can see my bomb in the radar. It's still heading down. But because I'm doing dive bombing, it is now well behind me. And unless I had someone peeking out the back door or in the turrets, they won't actually be able to see the bomb hit. So that's dive bombing. Something to recommend about all this kind of bomb, all three types, is you're going to want to practice before you ever do it in a live situation. And you're going to want to have a spotter plane following you. Because in most of these situations, you won't be seeing your bomb hit. So now we're going to switch around and do level bombing. Now for level bombing, the first step is to put your white circle right over the target. And then you press and hold down the T key for targeting. You press and hold down the T key, and then you're going to see something happen. You're going to get a new circle, a third circle. That's a green circle. That shows the area that your targeting computer now has locked in. And so you're going to want to come a distance away, you line up, and you want to put the top end of that dotted line right on your crosshairs. And then as it comes in, just see and listen to what's happening. I'm getting a little bit further away and getting a nice level approach. Coming a distance away. Now I'm going to come up to a nice level altitude. Right now I'm about 30-40 degrees. As I do, the green circle will disappear below my field of vision. This is where having that bombing operator station will be handy, because he will have a better and different field of view that a pilot does on the A2. Okay. Bring it up. The elevation to 0. Set my cruise control to on. And now I'm keeping my yaw right there targeted on the little circle. Put the little dot on the little circle. You can see the other dotted flashing light. And now I'm coming up with a nice, easy, steady approach I'm looking for. I'm going to try to line it up as I do so. Level her out a bit more. Here comes our targeting circle, edging her way up. You can hear the audio clues getting louder and faster. Now it's time to release. Bombs away. Now again, it would be nice if I could see what's going to actually happen, but I won't, of course, because I'm still keeping my nice level of approach. This is where it's going to come in handy to have either the bomber station and also come in handy to have a spotter plane as you're practicing. Because this is a skill, that make no doubt about it, is going to take practice. Now I'm going to come around. Notice I did not have to retarget. I'm going to come around for a second bombing run here. Okay, coming in on my last bombing run, I got things nice and level. 2,400 meters. Straight on. Gotta set my cruise control to have a nice steady approach. Here comes the bombing circle. Audio click starting. Now this time I'm going to turn around and see if I can get a good view for your sakes of seeing the bomb hit the ground. Bombs click, bombs away. You can see the bomb on the radar. Now I'm going to turn it around and see if I can get a good view of the bomb hitting the ground. You can see the red circle there, and the triangle for the bomb. Now the red circle isn't where the bomb's going to hit now, because I launched the bomb and I made all sorts of changes in my current speed and direction. So none of those affect the bomb, but all of them would affect where a bomb would land if I where a bomb would land if I unleashed it now. And there's the kaboom. That feels nice, isn't that? So again, this is going to be something you're going to probably want to take some practice on doing it. Probably want to do it in daylight instead of night. But I thought that the nighttime bomb run highlighted the user interface elements a little better than if they were needed to be seen against a bright background. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Ray for Ray's Guide.